Jesus Christ may be a myth. The Bible is actually a code for something else. Aliens are the reason the Red Sea parted in the first place. What other weird conspiracy theories are there? Stay tuned to find out. Numerous world religions attest to the existence of a historical figure called Jesus of Nazareth, even if his relationship to God is debated among different believers. Within Christianity alone, there are groups like Catholics who attest that Jesus is actually God as part of the Holy Trinity, while other denominations such as Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe this to be the case. But for more than a century, another fringe theory about Jesus has taken hold. This theory claims that he never existed at all, and he's nothing more than a myth that got out of hand. It isn't difficult to work out why some secularists would be happy to erase Jesus from history. Without Christ, the largest religion in the world ceases to exist. As scholar Dr. Simon J. Gathercole illustrates in an article for The Guardian, Jesus' existence is rarely questioned by mainstream academics. This is largely thanks to the great number of contemporary writings that reference him. Aside from the Gospels, Roman politicians like Tacitus recalled Jesus' crucifixion, and even pagan chroniclers who despised Jesus' ministry never refuted that he was a real-life figure.
What was it he said that got everyone so upset? Be kind to each other. Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Many Christians believe that the Bible has exact blueprints for what the end of the world will look like and what events will take place in the run-up to this destruction. One of these preliminary events is the emergence of a figure known as the Antichrist, as prophesied in the Gospel according to John. John is widely identified as the author of the apocalyptic book of Revelation, which also describes the arrival of a beast who will rule over the world before the second coming of Christ. Many theologians take the beast as a reference to the Antichrist. The Antichrist is the pure evil opposite of Jesus Christ. Where Jesus is perfectly good, the Antichrist is perfectly bad. He's the son of the devil as opposed to the son of God. As such, throughout history, numerous public figures have been identified by their political enemies as the coming of the Antichrist that heralds the end of the world. As noted by Nick Geyer in the Idaho State Journal, Antichrist watchers have at various points claimed that Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Vladimir Putin fit the bill as bringers of the apocalypse.
Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days.
However, the same source also notes that none of these figures have sprouted 10 horns and 7 heads on arrival, a necessary detail for the author of Revelation. You can study the words of the Bible at face value or just as easily as a series of layered metaphors, but there is a long tradition in both Judaism and Christianity of investigating the text in yet another way, as a divine code ready to be broken. It's not as national treasure as it might sound. Historical figures have even taken the school of thought. Take Isaac Newton, for example, both a mathematician and devout Christian. He turned his superb analytic ability and used it to identify biblical codes that might indicate the exact timing of the end of the world. More recently, the 1990s saw a group of Jewish theologians present their belief that the Bible could be decoded using a system of, quote, equidistant letter sequences, or ELS. These patterns supposedly revealed that the text was preloaded with hidden data concerning the lives of rabbis who lived centuries after the book's composition. Such experiments have been widely challenged by mainstream religious scholars, but modern technology has opened up incredible promises for the future of Bible decoding. A 2021 study released by Pew Research Center reveals that nowadays a majority of Americans believe that life exists beyond planet Earth. So it's really no surprise that biblical visitors to Earth, such as angels, Jesus, and even God himself, have been reconsidered by theorists as extraterrestrial beings from another planet, aliens who seeded human life. Pastor Barry Downing, author of the book Biblical UFO Revelations, has long believed that the existence of aliens can be easily reconciled with the Christian faith. He considers maybe the angels were ETs or aliens in our understanding all along, but they wouldn't use that language in biblical times. The biblical people were way pre-space age. So to solve the problem is how do we translate or interpret the Bible? Downing argues that the book of Exodus can be read as a story of alien visitation. The parting of the Red Sea and the Pillar of Fire may be explained as ancient instances of extraterrestrial technology. However, Downing's ideas remain a fringe theory and have attracted little in the way of theological consensus. One of the major discrepancies between Christian and Jewish faith is the Christian belief that the end of the world will arise as a necessary part of Christ's second coming. As such, apocalyptic thinking emerges in numerous forms of Christianity, with individuals of all stripes taking their beliefs about the approaching doomsday to public platforms. Pastor Paul Begley made headlines in 2020 when he predicted that the world was coming to an end on December 21st of that year, his birthday. Claiming to know the date of the apocalypse is not a new trend, but Begley's prediction was noteworthy because he believed the earth was due to explode. In a video shared by the Daily Express, Begley claims that evidence of earthly combustion may be found in 2 Peter chapter 3, which contains the passage, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." Of course, Begley's prediction did not come true, and he now predicts that the apocalypse will come sometime between 2060 and 2090. What a relief. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about conspiracy theories are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.